what is it? No, they're trying to bait the block so they can use the Invoke Despair, I reckon. Yeah. GG. I wanted to show reaching Mythic, and against Rakdos decks is the way to do it. Hello everybody, welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. So, I have built a deck today basically based on my thoughts on the current meta, which is that there's a couple of cards which are dominating the meta. I'll just go through those, which is A, Molten Impact. I'm not saying that's the reason I put it in the deck, that's the reason why I've built the deck that I have, which is this card. So it's 1 and a red, Molten Impact deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker, and basically you can reuse the excess damage you don't use later. There's also Mythic Massacre is in so many decks and is so powerful in the meta right now. Basically, if you're running a low toughness creature deck, you are stuffed. Like, you know, you are going to lose so many decks to Mythic Massacre sweeping your board, potentially from turn 3 or 4. That yeah, I wanted to build a deck that works around both Mythic Massacre and Molten Impact. Molten Impact is tough because 4 toughness is difficult to get to, but my goal to work around this card was to either A, put cards in that I don't care about it destroying, so creatures that are doing something else other than just existing as the creature, or B, make it so that the creature has more than 4 toughness, such as these two, or that it has some kind of ward or, you know, other difficulty associated with it. So that's the goal of working around Molten Impact. The other things that are big in the meta always have been are mono white, hence why we're running our own versions of Mythic Massacre. You know, it's not an ideal inclusion really in a creature deck, but as I was saying earlier, our cheap creatures we don't really care that much about, which I'll come to in a minute. And then the other thing that I'm working around really is the new Alchemy changes buffed both warriors, elves and equipment-y style decks, and the best way to sort of beat those really is with flyers. So elves do have the Jaspera Sentinels, which have reach, which we have a few ways to deal with those, but in general flyers are the way to sort of get over the creature I buff each other or creature I have equipment to stick on my creatures type decks, and that's why we've gone with flyers. So to give a rundown of how this deck is working, it's obviously a Jund creature deck. Our sort of win conditions are our top end creatures, so I've got 2 Westgate Regents, which is not a that commonly played card. I think because it costs 5 and has 4 toughness, you know, that puts people off, particularly in Molten Impact world. However, it does have Ward Discard a card, and for me this is there as a real sort of top end later game threat. I don't really want to be ramping and putting this down on turn 4 or whatever I can get it down on, because the opponent's probably still going to have their removal in their hand. This is there to come down after hopefully they've used a lot of their removal, and then it's there as a difficult threat to deal with that I could finish the game with potentially. I've then got 2 Blood Vial Purveyors, which is a 5/6 flying trample. Obviously the 5/6 means it's out of Molten Impact range, it's out of any sort of burn spell range. The reason that these cards, both this and this, are working well at the moment is that actually the amount of instant speed flat removal that people are using has gone down. For example, even in this deck, I'm not running any. I did have a copy of Power Word Kill, but I kept running into sort of either angels or dragons that I wanted to kill that it wouldn't deal with for me. So I've switched them to Blood Chief's Thirst, which is a sorcery. So the lack of instant speed, like things that can remove a 6 toughness creature, has happened. And so that's why I've got 8 ways of giving other creatures haste in this deck, and 2 creatures that hit for 5 or 6 in the air. I mean, obviously even more with Halana and Alina. So, you know, these are like basically going to nuke the opponent for somewhere between a third and a half their health when they come in. And they're going to be difficult for them to remove. I mean, where this deck is slightly weak is to sort of board wipes, you know, hard board wipes that like destroy all or something like that. And I think if I was to build a sideboard for this deck, it would be putting in things like Tamio Safekeeping or some indestructible for our larger creatures. But anyway, so these are our kind of win conditions. So we've got 6 big flying creatures, we've got 8 ways of giving them haste. Halana and Alina is you know, I've heard a lot said about this card, both positive and negative. I think in this kind of deck it is amazing because what it can do is turn all of our smaller creatures into threats as well, particularly when paired with Kalane. which can make other creatures basically come in larger if we use treasure to put them in. So yeah, you can get Halana and Alina in as a 3/4 or a 4/5 even sometimes, which then immediately puts 4 or 3 counters on one of our other creatures, causing that creature itself to be a threat. I mean, our favourite run out for turn 1, 2, 3 is to put down any land turn 1, play Kalain on turn 2, play Halana and Alina as a 3/4 on turn 3, which then turns Kalain into a 4/5, which we can swing with. So this is our sort of ideal run out in the deck, which is why we're running 4 of both these legendary creatures. But it also works with Prosperous Innkeeper slightly less well, and with having a sort of turn in the middle to put some of our powerful 3-drops in. So this is why this is a very good card in the deck, and basically it will turn our smaller creatures that we're using to ramp to our larger ones into threats themselves as well. We're running 4 Stormseekers, as I said, basically for the haste giving ability. The only real way to combat or to catch control decks off guard with a creature deck is by giving your creatures haste, which these 2 excel at. I'm running 1 Graveyard Trespasser, could be more, but it's there basically as an extra because it's got Ward Discard. It's just a classic 3-drop creature that can get in for some damage, and then I'm running Florian as some form of card draw in the deck because I don't really have any. Also, having a first striker that's a 3/3 first striker for 3 that I can buff with Halana and Alina or give haste to get in and get me some card draw is particularly nice. So running Florians, and then just to cover off the rest of the deck, I've got a sort of small package of removal with Molten Impact and a Braid. The reason I've gone with a Braid is that it's instant, so it gives me instant access to the excess damage from Molten Impact, but also gives me that valuable Artifact Destroy. I mean, the kind of deck this could lose to if you don't have a Braid is one that runs oh god, I can't remember the name of the card now. The one that gains you 2 life. Come on, brain. What is it called? It's a rare artifact, 4 costing. Cosmos Elixir. So things like Cosmos Elixir and Key to the Archive are really our artifact targets for a Braid, but it can be used to take out a Oni-Colt Anvil or something. But generally we're using it as 3 damage instant that then can trigger the Molten Impacts. In general, if you have both these, you want to be using the Molten Impact first every time, as you get that extra damage off as instant with a Braid. 1 Painful Bond just to top us up with some cards, and 2 Bloodchiefs for early threats or things, or Planeswalkers potentially that we can't deal with our Braids. So we've got a little removal package. The reason I call the deck MKFHA is that we're running Magda, Kalain, Florian, and Halana and Alina. So we've got sort of 4 named cards, 5 named characters in the deck. So it's quite a characterful deck. And yeah, I've had some pretty good success with it in the ladder. Up to, I think I'm at Diamond 1 at the moment, so hopefully just about to turn Mythic in this video. So I'm going to run through a few more games, see if we can get to Mythic and show you how it does. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we're up against today. It's a pretty nice opening hand, as long as we find our 3rd land. Go Kalain into Halana and Alina, which is my preferred path through this deck. Black Foretell. Interesting. Still haven't found the 3rd land, and we've got 3 draws, so I just assume we will, but that's not necessarily a safe assumption with this shuffler. Okay, it's Elves. Not sure what elf gets foretold. Don't know enough about them. Okay, we have got there. Good. So she's a 3/4, which makes Kalain a 4/5, and we can start swinging. And we've got our removal or Stormseeker next turn. This Bloodchief's Thirst very nice against the War Master. I wonder if this is a Black Destroy Foretell. Okay. Also Skemvar Avenger. I think we want to leave this in play because it costs them life, which is what we want. So if I play this, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be using Destroy this turn. which want to put the pressure on really, because that's 14 heading at them. And obviously any blocks cost them a life with the Avenger. There they decided to ditch the Avenger. Not sure what double blocking there. First strike. Sadly, the first strike kills the Avenger and the token first, so they don't lose the life of the Herald. Oh, it's another as well. Okay, so they only use one life. I don't imagine there's any board wipes that can deal with this for 4. That's the nice thing about Halana and Alina. I mean, these are so board wipe resistant. You're not being killed off by Meat Hook or anything like that here. Okay. Trying to gain life. So I think all I'm going to do here is kill the War Master, play an Innkeeper, give me an extra creature to swing with. In case anyone's not familiar, always putting the Stormseeker on Halana Arena, because all it's doing is turning that +1/+0 into put a counter on. So it's basically always worth putting it on there. As long as you've got a way of giving the haste, which Halana Arena obviously does. That's why it's such a nice little combo there. Can block either of these for free, so probably will do that. So only taking 9. Yep. Theoretically could have a Blood on the Snow, but they're not running any snowlands, I don't think. We wouldn't know yet. I doubt it. Trying to think what other like big removals there are. Not really. Path of Peril, but there's no white mana. Probably game over. Just out of interest, Haunting Voyage, of course. Bring back all the elves. Okay, that was a good start. We will try again. Okay, here we go. Up against the Mythic player this time, so a bit of a test for this janky deck. Okay, this is probably not a good keep. I'm not sure. Not sure. Just don't have any sort of payoff cards here. Or removal. But it is a 3-lander with playable creatures. Can in theory have a 4/4 Florian. Nah, don't like it. See, this is mildly better. Just because I actually have some way of reacting to the opponent. And the Stormseeker, which is half a payoff. That's red, that was goes green. Okay, so we can play this on red. Lovely. That's what we need. It's an actual payoff for the deck. Maybe we're against mono white, which could be quite nice. Oh no, it's not mono white at all. Oh no. Yeah. Blue white control. Or is it? Is it blue white reanimator maybe? This could be a Lorehold Vela Macros deck, couldn't it? Well, they haven't put anything into the graveyard yet, so I guess not. Yep, just a normal control deck. Okay. See, if I play out Florian, it makes Divine Purge so good, but if I use my clue, I don't gain any ground. It's a bit of a tough one, really. I think I have to put a threat on the board and hope they don't have Divine Purge. This is likely a Doomscar. Don't mind them using a Doomscar for one creature. Okay, it is not a Doomscar. This is very curious. Invoke the Wind's control. I don't really want Florian around. At least if I play out like this, I can clue if there is a board wipe. Like a farewell or something. I mean, not that they would get rid of their Celestus. Tamio. This really is a curious deck. Not sure why they want to tap down that. I guess just to be able to plus Tamio.
You do not write the story.
Well, at least they can't plus this down. But I'm guessing the Doomscar will happen. Okay, no. That might not be a Doomscar then. Because why pay 2 cards to take that when I'm probably going to be able to kill it?
Bow before Phyrexia.
See if they minus Tamio here. That notebook is very powerful. But we do have a Braid in the deck. No, they want to keep Tamio.
You do not write the story.
Epiphany. Yeah, gathered that wasn't a Doomscar. Okay, they have got green mana in the deck. This is a Bant. Bant? Ram?
The past contains
Super Friends? I have no idea. All I know is that this is a very strong card. Okay, that's pretty nice. Uh-oh. Are we running into a counter? Or is... Okay. Sort of. Another Divide by Zero? No. Okay, Fateful Absence. At least we got the opponent empty-handed now. Sadly, I've had to use my meat hook already, so... I would say that a Steals Your Creatures deck is probably one of the few things this deck does not want to play against. As we are going for the put down one big creature strategy. But I honestly haven't seen a deck even close to this on the ladder so far, so very interesting. I'll have to give it a go myself at some point.
You cannot delay our victory.
Yeah, I think that's probably game. Don't see me beating this. Let's see what's on top, in case it is the meat hook we need. Sadly not. I'll give it one more turn. Since this can block the flyers, but I think, yeah, no, it can't. We'll just get killed by Lear. Okay, interesting deck from the opponent there. But yeah, Steals Creatures, definite weakness of this deck. Thankfully we don't see it too often. Okay, please no more Invoke the Wind stacks. Okay, I've gone from playing against Mythic to playing against Platinum. Although some of these Platinum people are just people who haven't actually bothered trying to level up the ladder yet. Let's see. This is probably a mulligan. I have no one on my ramp and 2 creatures I can't get to. This is better. Ditch the Innkeeper. The Innkeeper almost needs removing from this deck. I'm not sure yet, but... Or maybe just take it down to 2 copies and play something else. I think I can safely throw away my 4th land here. Famous last words, but I think so. I think so. So we have to play this on red. So is this some? This is who knows what kind of deck. Got some removal, got some creatures. Okay. Life gain clerics or something. Be interesting to see what the opponent's scared of here. Okay, rest of the Stormseeker. Let's get the Bloodvar Purveyor down. Nice to have a 6/7 trample. And just see if they're playing Fateful Absence or Brutal Cathar or anything like that. And Brutal Cathar I'm less worried about, but Flat Destroy is what we don't want to see. Nope. Okay, we can attack. See if there is. I guess it's a Wandering Emperor. This is a pass of 2s. Yeah, okay. Do I want to walk into a Wandering Emperor here? Not really. Not really. What I might be better off doing is I could play out the Oni, then I start taking the effect. Might be better off just putting Trespasser out. Kill off a Spellbinder, but not that much point in killing it. Let's play this out. I'm in no life threat, and if I'm going to start swinging through an Emperor, I want to have the creatures down to end it quickly. Thing is, in this situation, yeah, most people are going to play out their Emperor anyway, because they can't afford to waste a turn.
I hope you're ready to lose.
It's an
Remember
interesting
your
option. Yeah. See, some people just let the blood build up, and then that Purveyor becomes an absolute beast.
Strike fast and strike hard.
So it is like a Clericsy deck, but an odd one. So I think the best thing to do here really is to kill off this, or remove their life gain. Yeah, it costs me 3 life. That doesn't matter. Then we can kill off the Emperor and then do them a whole bunch of damage. And then put them in lethal range next time.
Back to wandering.
Yeah, my Trespass is more expensive, but in terms of life. Okay, a nice big Righteous Valkyrie. It's hard to gain life enough to combat this deck. I have my Stormseeker to put in as well, which is nice. Have to see what else they play, if anything. Okay, Kalane isn't that helpful, but I think just playing a Stormseeker out, because I don't... Yeah, that's going to cost me life, but... I can swing with the Stormseeker. So this is going to, in theory, hit for 10. Obviously, if they have removal, it could be a bit of a blowout. That's a 10. 6. They can block 8 of this. Makes it 2. So that would mean I have to swing with this as well for lethal. Assuming there is no removal. They didn't sack any of the blood in response either, so... Not sure what the game plan here is. Yeah, target the Valkyrie first, in case there is any trick. Okay, a safekeeping. So the Valkyrie won't die, but let's hope this randoms the Kalane. Yeah. Now this Trespasser is actually playable. Okay. GG. They threw away a card that could have kept them alive a turn as well. I don't know. We'll try again. Here we go. Against Shogun. Shogun 771. Okay, on the play. We've got a ramp into Halana and Alina, so that will do. And some interaction if we need it. I'm thinking of maybe subbing these for Ravenous Impulse, just to give it a go. Just because our creatures are so big, it could actually be a game changer in these games. I never need more than one green source, so always putting the lands on. Nah, you don't want to use the Thirst yet. They can't flip this until the next turn, so. See, this is the nice thing about having an Innkeeper out, is they're eyeing it up for removal or whatever, but there's no... we don't care if they remove this now. The fact that they kept mana open, I probably don't want to just blast a big creature into this, because if they've got an Abrade, for example, this is just worthless. So what I will probably do is put a Kalane in. They're thinking whether let me gain the life, I suppose, but that's the thing about this deck. I mean, it can offer you a fast ramp out a big creature or good creature, but that's not necessarily mean you always want to take it, especially against black red. There we go, flunk. We knew there was something coming. And then we just hold. I kind of want the opponent to be... they don't have to be tapped out, but I want to know that my Halana and Alina is relatively safe. Okay, we'll ditch these two. Got to keep my threat. So this is just a discard tribal we're playing against here, so that's okay. I don't know if this will stay alive, but at least we'll have a 3/3 Innkeeper. Keeps a threat on the board, which discard we'll have to use something to do with. I don't know what their like top end will be in this deck, but any more flunks? Valky, I don't mind. Yeah. Okay, that's quite nice. It's probably worth me doing this for one now, in case they block. Costs me a couple of points of damage, but it'll cost me a lot more if they block. It actually costs me 3 points of damage, because Halana and Alina won less power, but whatever. I probably shouldn't have done it. Maybe. Close call. This is where like a Ravenous Impulse would be nice, but I can't get rid of the Abrades. Okay, this is a question. I guess I have to sack the Innkeeper still at this point, but this is a 3-turn clock. Gotta hope for another creature. There are loads of them in this deck, so there we go. Thank goodness. Finally made the right call. Opponent down to 1. Oh, okay. Oh, had to play a bit crafty there, but managed to get through to the win. That's quite a nice one to turn over the sort of discard tribal deck. Yeah, we'll try again. Okay, So I've skipped a couple of videos out because I had one where I got completely land screwed. I kept a 2-land hand on the draw and then didn't draw a land in 3 turns, and got run over by enchantments. And then there was a game on the draw where I played against Clerics and they just had the perfect run out. Basically got above the 27 life and smashed me to pieces. So let's see if these games go any better. So I'm on the play. I've got 2 Kalanes, but it's probably just about keepable. I will put this in first on black so we can get the scry for an extra land. Just got to find that land. So if that's 1 card, 2 cards, okay. Red. Want the land, please. Land. So we've seen 3 lands in 10 cards so far. Okay, this is where I'm glad I've got 2 Kalanes in case they take one. Fine. That is fine. I don't think they're going to want to spend 3 mana turning this into a Florian, but let's see. They can't draw with it anyway. Okay, they do want to. Is it worth me killing it? Probably. No, it's not. We want to use the Molten Impact on it first, before a Braid. We'll take 3. Okay, gonna get this down. I know it looks potentially dangerous with the Florian, but 5/5 ward discard fire that doubles in size is not something that they want to be dealing with. My thing is I don't really want to block the Florian because it opens Westgate up to be killed by Molten Impact or a Braid or whatever, so we have to let them take the card, which is sad because that could give them access to a Destroy, but nah, Westgate Regent does it again. They see no answer, they don't want to deal with the 10/10. Game over. Okay, here we go. Just been thinking about playing against Mythic player here. Okay, another potential addition or change to the deck would be to take out all of my 3-costing creatures and stick in the Fable of the Spirit Breaker, but maybe. No, we don't like that. This is better. I'm trying to think what this person's playing most of the time. Is it green? It might be green. I'll ditch. Thing is, if it's Rakdos, that's what I want. Ditch the Westgate. If in doubt, ditch the more expensive thing. It's a good rule of thumb. Green. Oh, Elves. Put the Magda in, and we can use Molten Impact to clear the way next time. Yeah, Elves. When it dies, you may exile it. Return another one to the... Okay. We don't want any of that, so... When it dies, now, you can exile it. No. Okay. I want my treasure. Don't really care if they block here. 1 less creature to deal with, and we've then got a double creature removal here, so Braid is 3 damage to 2 different creatures now. Apparently no creatures to play. Cool. So, let's get the Purveyor down. Since we managed to clear their reach creature out with Magda. Good. It's extra damage from me. So, reveal 7. Pick an Elf, Warrior, or Tyvar. Put it into your hand. The basically guaranteed to hit, looking at 7. Okay, they've taken the reach one. Don't know, the thing is, it's not a great blocker. This is nice. Makes my threat in the air massive. And means that I can smash with this as well next turn. Be interesting to see what they plan to do about these 2 cards. Nothing. It's pretty much a good game, isn't it? Even if we don't play this. I mean, I guess they have 3 mana. So they could have a destroy. Have to be an Infernal Grasp or a Power Word kill. Definitely don't want to attack. Yeah, yeah. Okay. That's an easy defeat of Mythic player, but I mean, I think this is why I built this deck, is to play against things like Elves that people are playing a lot more, just because of the changes. I don't know if this deck would still be good if it wasn't for recent Alchemy changes, but this is like a reactive to the meta deck, and it's working against decks like this. Okay, after having one more mana screwed game, I think I had 2 lands in the top 15 cards. Did get to 15 cards, the opponent was playing such a slow deck, but still lost. I decided to take out 2 Florians, take out the Graveyard Trespasser, and I've put in 3 Fable of the Mirror Breaker to give me that draw discard, but also an extra treasure generator. So let's see how we get on now. I might actually sub out some Innkeepers instead going forward, but let's see. I do like having the turn 2 into turn 4 into a 4-drop thing going on, but it's not 100% the point of the deck. So, and it only really works well with Kalain, to be honest. It does work with Innkeeper, but it's nowhere near as effective. Okay. I'll probably put the Fable in here. So we're playing against Grixis, but I'm not seeing anything from them yet. Just doing the whole drawing thing. I think people play Grixis just because everyone plays Grixis. It's not like everyone famous plays Grixis or has tried it, so people love the idea, but I don't see many people trying Jund. Okay, treasure generator gone, but never mind. Okay, so this time I can actually try and search for a land. I'll get rid of a Braid and probably another Braid. I don't think we're playing against a Anvil deck. Still no land. Alright. I mean, or whatever. It doesn't surprise me anymore. I've gone through 12 and found 3 this game. Slightly better than last game, but still. That's 25%. 40% of the deck is land. So why do you not get 40%? I don't understand. There's my Westgate region gone. Trying to get the Purveyor down. They've already given themselves a blood, so it's going to hit quite hard. Half the opponent's life total, and now they've got the Reflection to deal with as well as the Purveyor. Obviously we've got Molten Impacts if we need it to clear the way. Just got a lot of threats for the opponent to deal with. Okay, that gets rid of Prosperous Innkeeper and the Reflection, I suppose. But don't see how that wins them the game. The Purveyor sort of just kills them in the air. Okay. Managed not to hit land, but still win this one. Okay, I'm not sure where I'm up to now. Okay, two games off Mythic. Let's see if I can record to the end. I wouldn't normally do this many games, but I'd like to get there on here. Okay. Let's see how we get on this time. Oh, same opponent again. See if they have any more luck. Don't have any 2-drops, but we can keep it because we do have Meter in case we're getting too snowballed. Same play. Yeah, keep my 2-drop. Which I can't play. I'm an idiot. Why have I kept something I cannot play? Okay, at least I can get rid of it. It's just intentional hand fodder. It's cool between these just because this is such a nice pair. But often getting the Fable down early is good. I'll get the Fable down, yeah. I think having that 2/2 generating treasures or something that they have to deal with is good early on. They dealt with it. I think I'll ditch this and this. Yeah. Do I want to ditch a meat hook? No, actually, maybe not. Okay, land for land. I'll put the Stormseeker down first instead of Alana and Alina, because it can swing itself, which Alana and Alina cannot do. So it's actually better to play it this way around. I probably won't need the land next turn anyway. The opponent went first, so they can't untap this. Although they probably have removal for this, but let's see. No. And we get the Kiki Jiki, which we can give haste to. So, to play this properly, I'll put this in. Obviously there could be instant speed removal here, but yeah, there is. Okay. At least we had to go through that at some point. Still hit for 5. Would have been pretty much game over otherwise, so the opponent did have to do that. But I've got my slasher to use on the Oni, which is pretty heavy damage coming out. Okay. Opponent now has to block the slasher. Oh, it's 2 double spells, so they don't, sorry. Still, it's 9 damage. I think I'll play this for 0. Just means if the opponent board wipes, I'll win. And obviously I don't want it to cost 3 extra. Not that I think they can board wipe this Oni away. But still better to get this down. Opponent running all Vile Sea. That's the reason for playing Grixis, but I'm not running any of that discard shit in this deck. So fed up with it, I can't join it. I can join the Molten Impact because it's basically, you can't get away from this. If you want to play removal, you have to play it. But, okay, 1 life down. So either they remove the Oni and lose 1 life, or they don't and lose 6. Unless they have an exile, but red, blue, black, not really very exile-y. Okay, sacrifice, but yeah. Good. 1 win off Mythic. Let's see if we can get there. Hopefully for a different opponent for the last one. Okay, we've proven that we can beat up on Grixis Midrange twice in a row. Let's see what O5R is playing for the Mythic. This is obviously not a keep because I've got no red source at all red cards. This is a keep. Potentially ditching this. Hard to know whether that's going to be worth anything, but I think I'll keep it. Please scry a land, please. Yes. Thank God. I can't have another game of not getting the lands. Okay. green-white. I mean, the fact that it's a 1 toughness creature is already making me like having this. Although, to be fair, we'll probably block with Kalane if given the chance. Although then they can get their Evangel back. Not now I've seen that. Nope. Okay, I'll put this on green now. Get the Fable going. See if we see 2 more Evangels come in. If so, I really want to find a meat hook. A meat hook for 1 would be so good. Yeah. Gonna get hit for 3, but gonna get hit for a lot more later if we don't find a meat hook. Only 2 in the deck, so I'm not holding out hope. But we can dig. Just get rid of both Fables, I think. Okay, no meat hook. So we have enough to put this in, which is one way to stop being hit, but then we're still going to take a bunch. I think I'm just going to put this in and not swing. Because I can always then Ravenous Pursuit off of this, hopefully if I draw a creature or a meat hook, or there's so many good options basically. So now my Kalane, I don't have that much use for, because although I can generate treasures, I'm probably going to have to chump. So we've got 3 good blocks, I would say, out of 4. And obviously if the opponent removes Westgate, it's 2 for 1, so... Okay. Desperately trying to keep white open, which makes me think they might have... Okay. Another Evangel. Willing to discard just to get through? Okay. We'll have to block here. So I'm in a slight predicament because but blowing up one of these with the region is sweet because it's going to make this massive, whereas killing this is more important. I think this is the right play, because this will be a brilliant blocker forever then. And then I think I attack, because that's now, yeah, 11-11. Always more Evangels to bring back. That's it. Good game. Why did I not think of this? I mean, my god. This really is a meat game. Just couldn't find one. Okay. Couldn't make Mythic against this random deck. It is quite an interesting one, but gotta get 2 more wins now. God, the waiting times on Alchemy can be a bit painful. That last deck's got me thinking. I was thinking about Evangel before when it first came out, that because you always get at least 1 in the graveyard, there has to be a use for that. And I was previously thinking like, you know, you could potentially reanimate with Invoke Justice, but then you used all your mana, so you can't cast the next ones. However, Eganjo getting it back, and then having all of your mana open to cast them as follow-up is actually really nice. I'm sure there's a shell that can make a better use of that than what that guy was doing, but it was good. Okay, playing against Mythic to get towards Mythic. Let's see if we can do it. It's keepable. This obviously has to go on black. So mono white. At least I've got my Molten Impact this time. I don't know if I'm going to get enough lands. There we go. Mono white, with Molten Impact is such a good anti-mono white card. I don't understand it. It can't do that well these days. There's my Kalane. Basically with mono white, it's can we survive the first 5 turns? Now they're thinking, should I waste one of my three mana removal creatures on Kalane? Because they're obviously running 3 Brutal Cathars and 3 Skyclave Apparitions. The fact that Skyclave Apparition exists is basically the reason why I'm running the Westgate Regents at all, because they're not 4 mana. Okay. I think the best move here is just get rid of this Usher and then hold open a Braid, because it's a board wipe if they attack before putting something down. And they might play something juicy to kill. How people can still find playing this mono white deck interesting, I have no idea. But also because so many people play it, I think so many people are better at playing against it now. I think mono white players struggle when there's no creatures for them to use their 3-drops on. I mean, that's basically kind of key against that deck. If you haven't got a 3-drop creature that's an easy just like Apparition or Cathar target, like this they love exiling. If you don't give them that option, what do? Wait and think until they time out. Mono white player brain explodes. What we want to see is the opponent want to keep developing their board, so they play out a Brutal Cathar or something. I mean, this is looking more like just a disconnect than anything else now, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say it's a disconnect rather than just can't work out what to do. Okay, they do absolutely nothing, so it looks like a disconnect. I think I'll take this opportunity to get my tap land and my Magda down. There's your target, now you can stop pretending not to be there. I hope they don't disconnect, because I kind of want to show how to play against mono white with this deck, because it is an important matchup. Okay, they're back. Now they've got their target for their next Apparition or Cathar, they're happy. Stop touching my Magda. Just flat playing Wandering Emperor, eh? Okay, good one. Guess I kill this. I got 2 2/2s to kill the Emperor anyway. Yeah. Alright, I mean they disconnected, so it's not a real victory, but I want to show my journey back towards Mythic, so I'll probably keep it in. We'll try again, or hopefully one more game. Okay. This is the boss for Mythic, the Abandoned. Another diamond player, so hopefully a reasonable game. This is definitely a keep. 2 Fables, I mean, can't use Fable on this, but that doesn't matter. Well, we got plenty that we can use it on by the time we get to the 3rd tier of this saga. Okay. Nothing to blow up with impact. Plunder. Yeah, we'll ditch one of those and I'll let them have a card. I think the trick with Plunder is to let them have it more often than you'd think, to be honest. We're going to go double black just because black is the colour that we have double of in a requirement in a card. Because, you know, a random card from my deck could be a land, could be a fucking Molten Impact if they're very lucky, but it's not necessarily something useful. Do we ditch this? No, I don't think I want to throw anything here. See if they've got more Molten Impacts. At least the 2 extra damage can't kill the creature. I mean, that's the one thing to consider really against Molten Impacts. At least don't give them a free destroy. Like, make this a complete 2-for-1. Make it so they have to use another destroy. Okay, like that. Okay, got the Babel, and then we'll put the Purveyor down. Something they can't just easily remove unless they have another Molten Impact. And even then they can't kill the Purveyor and the Kiki-Jiki. Good. Hopefully our Purveyor can survive this. And then I can Ravenous Pursuit whatever they put down and make my Innkeeper big. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay. Interesting. I think I'll ditch the Impact. Not something you'd say very often, but yeah, we can Pursuit this. I should have attacked first. Shit, it would be an 8. What a moron. They'll use one of their blood, yeah. Ditch a Meat Hook. Okay. Okay, it'll be a 7 anyway. It's a 3-turn clock. I assume there will be something to deal with this card somewhere in their deck, but it definitely won't be a Meat Hook. This is an interesting one because this is a nice 3-3. I think we'll ditch our Meat Hook. They've probably got another discard spell anyway, let's be honest, but nope. Okay, they got 3 blood this time. I'll get both my creatures down, both my cards out of my hand. No point holding on to stuff against this kind of deck. Hit for 8. And then let's see if they can find an answer to the Purveyor. Often the Rakdos decks can't. Some are running like Infernal Grasp or Power Word Kill. Or Bloodchief's Thirst. Would probably be the most likely. But a lot aren't. Let's see. We've got the Hive to swing with, even if they find an answer for the Purveyor. Get them down to 1. What is it? No. They're trying to bait the block so they can use the Invoke Despair, I reckon. Yeah. GG. I wanted to show reaching Mythic, and against Rakdos decks is the way to do it. Let's see where we ended up in Mythic. I mean, it's the 11th, so it's a bit late in the month, but let's see. Where have we got to? Yeah, that's got me to 618, so not too bad. 11th of the month and still getting to 618, I can't complain. Let's have another quick look at the stats. As I said, quick look at stats. So it's I've had 32 games with this deck now, and I'm looking at a 75% win rate. So this is mostly through Diamond, as I showed, but it has given me a pretty good climb up Diamond into Mythic relatively early in the month. So yeah, what are we doing well against? 6-0 against Rakdos, I think, speaks volumes. Weirdly playing against Golgari decks, fine. I mean, this is mono white. I think the losses have come from a little bit of land screwing. Like, if you don't get the land drops on time against mono white, you're going to struggle. And it's very much a bit of a, like, do we draw the Meat Hooks? I think it's going to be a bit one where in best of 3 Wayfarer will look better, because obviously mono white, no one really plays in best of 3, but if they do, I can sideboard in all the Meat Hooks and beat them. Anyway, that's probably not a fair representation, but it's still a very small sample size. Other things struggled against Bant. Yeah, so Bant value or Bant ramp late game stuff is actually a challenge for this deck. Anything, if you're running like lots of sweepers or fateful absences and that kind of interaction, we struggle a lot. Or lots of bounce, which I ran into 1 or 2 decks. So yeah, Bant I think is a challenge for this deck for sure. And it's pretty hard to tech against because of the nature of what we're trying to do, which is hit them down with big creatures. I think this is a tough matchup. Otherwise, it's gone pretty well. On version 8 of this deck, it is one where there's lots of different options and things to play with. Obviously, consuming Oni is a bit of bit of a curveball, a bit of an interesting one. I wanted to try and play it since it's been around for a long time, and I've not seen any other deck. I've not come up against it once, and I've not seen anyone play any decks with it in. So I wanted to try it out, and this was the shell I could think of for it, really, with the 6 toughness. So thank you very much for watching, guys. If you did like the deck, or you have any suggestions on how I can improve it, more importantly, please do leave a comment and give me a like. But yeah, until next time, bye for now.